In this video, we are going to talk about what is Jupiter return and what are the effects of Jupiter return. So keep watching. Namaste and welcome to Vedic Astrology channel. I'm your host Prasad Mahazani. Help you raise your vibrations and become your true self with the help of Vedic Astrology. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. You'll be getting Vedic astrological videos just like this one. And these videos will help you grow further faster into Vedic astrological studies. Jupiter returns. Jupiter is the most benefic planet of all. The first thing which comes to my mind when I think of Jupiter is expansion, happiness, wisdom, growth, surplus, income, abundance, faith, values, moral, honesty, teachers, guru, philosophy, and all that is related to the ninth house of the horoscope. All which is good and positive can be seen with the Jupiter. Wealth can be seen with the Jupiter. Happiness, children, husband is determined by your Jupiter for the woman. So all in all, Jupiter is the most benefic and positive planet along with Venus. There is a great connection between Venus and Jupiter. We'll talk about that later in this video. Jupiter return. Jupiter will be moving from sign of Scorpio to the sign of Sagittarius. Scorpio is the water element sign and Sagittarius is the fire element sign. When a planet moves from the water element sign to the fire element sign, it is the Gandanta point. We have made a separate video on the Gandanta. If you have not watched that video, I'll put a link into the description section or I button above. What is Jupiter return? You have Jupiter in some zodiac sign in your birth chart. When a transiting Jupiter comes into the same sign as your natal birth chart Jupiter sign, it is called as the Jupiter return. Right now, Jupiter is going to the sign of Sagittarius. So everybody who has their Jupiter in Sagittarius in their birth chart will be having their Jupiter return. Some of you might be having their first Jupiter return. Others might be having their third, fourth Jupiter return. It all depends upon your birth year. So Jupiter return happens after every 12 years. So after every 12 years, your Jupiter comes into the same sign as your natal Jupiter. Jupiter is the most benefic planet. When your Jupiter return comes, the person will have a purpose in life. Jupiter brings in health, wealth, abundance, and happiness. Most important blessing of the Jupiter is happiness. It makes you happy. So what is the effect of Jupiter return? Jupiter is the planet of happiness and expansion. So whenever you have Jupiter return, you will find happiness in life. You will find purpose in life. You will find abundance and wealth in your life. But more than anything, you will find what makes you happy in life. If you are old enough, go to your previous Jupiter return and observe the life, what was happening during that time. You will be doing something which made you happy. Jupiter return happens after every 12 years. The first Jupiter return will be in the 12th or 11th or 12th year in your life, depending upon the timing of your birth and how much is the degree of Jupiter and all that thing. And it can be retrograde for some time, but on an average, Jupiter takes 1 year to go through each Rashi. So 12 years, 12 Rashis. So it takes 12 years for your Jupiter to come back to your original zodiac. And when it comes to the Rashi of your natal horoscope, what it does is It gives you a sense of purpose. It makes you happy. It brings in life things which makes you happy. The first Jupiter return comes at 12, and the interesting thing about the 12th year is the planet Venus becomes active at the age of 12. I'm not talking about the Vimshottari Mahadasha, I'm not talking about any other dasha, but each planet has their role. Each planet has their rulership of the age. Like we always say, Saturn is the planet of old age. Venus rules from 12th to the 32 years of age. And first Jupiter return comes into the 12th year of your life. Second comes in at 24. Interesting thing about the 24 year of age is Venus gets mature at the age of 24, 25. At the age of 12, we have to make the decisions, the important decisions of the life. We are into an age where we have to decide what kind of person we want to be in life. Lifestyle changes are to be taken during this period. Whether you want to exercise, whether you want to study, or whether you just want to party and drink and smoke and do nothing. And these are the important years. And Jupiter guides you during this year. Earlier we talked about the combination of Venus and Jupiter in our life. Venus and Jupiter are both the benefic planet, and Venus gets exalted into the sign of Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of children, and Venus is the planet of sex. Jupiter and Venus are the most benefic planets. Both are benefic and they are interrelated. Venus gets exalted into the sign of Jupiter in Pisces. So what happens when you have Jupiter return? What are the effects of Jupiter return? So effect of Jupiter returns depend upon the signs ruled or houses ruled by Jupiter in your chart and the sign of the Jupiter. Right now Jupiter is going through the sign of Sagittarius. Okay, suppose you have your Jupiter in the first house of your horoscope in your natal chart, and now the transiting Jupiter is going through your first house. So we are talking about the Sagittarius ascendant. So when you have Jupiter return in the first house, it brings in the positivity in your personality. Your physical body, you can feel the health. You feel the health when you are working on your body. You might start some workout regime. You might start something to take effort on your body. You will feel the positivity in your physical body. Okay, you may not have the best of the financial conditions depending upon Dasha, Yoga and all that thing, but when this Jupiter comes over your Jupiter, it will make you happy and will bring in the events and things which will make you happy. What if you have Sagittarius Jupiter into the second house of the horoscope? When you have Sagittarius Jupiter into the second house and the Jupiter is transiting over that second house Jupiter, what it does is it will bring in the opportunity to earn more, to save more. It will give you an opportunity to talk about the things which you like. In third house, it will bring in some kind of skill that will make you happy, that will make you rich, that will make you, or that will bring you abundance in your life. And in the fourth house, if you have Jupiter into the sign of Sagittarius in the fourth house and the Jupiter is transiting over the Sagittarius, what it does is it brings in the happiness in your home. It will make you involve in the things which will make you happy. It will keep you at home. Suppose Jupiter is in your fifth house in the sign of Sagittarius, and now the Jupiter is transiting over this fifth house Sagittarius Jupiter. So what it shows is fifth house is the house of children. Fifth house is also the house of romance. So if you are a woman and you have Jupiter into the fifth house in Sagittarius in your natal chart, and now this Jupiter is transiting over this Jupiter, what it shows is it will bring you happiness with your husband or your children. Why husband? Because Jupiter is husband in woman's chart. And fifth house is the house of Jupiter. Excuse me, fifth house is the house of children. Okay, let's move on to the sixth house. If you have Jupiter return coming into the sixth house, it shows the job, repetitive action, or social work. So this bring in happiness with respect to your routine. It may be your job, or it may be something to do with your working conditions, which is going to bring in money for you. You will experience happiness and abundance in this area of life. When you have Jupiter return coming into the seventh house of the horoscope, what it shows is you will have an happy moments with your husband. Your husband will be the source of happiness for you during this time. You will reinvent your sexual life. Or if you are single and looking for a partner, this will bring in the Jupiter in your life. This will bring in the husband in your life. Eighth house. If you have Jupiter return coming into the eighth house, what it shows is eighth house is about the occult, mysticism, and spirituality. Not exactly spirituality, but occult and mysticism. Things which are buried underground, things which are hidden, like astrology. So I have seen many people who have Jupiter return coming into the eighth house are drawn towards some sort of spiritual practice, alternate healings, or some occult things, or maybe drawn towards astrology. They were not into astrology, now they have Jupiter return coming into the eighth house. Boom, suddenly they are interested into the Vedic astrology, Western astrology, Greek astrology, all sorts of astrology, tarot, Reiki, pranic healing, all these things. If you have Jupiter return coming into the ninth house of the horoscope, ninth house is all about the higher belief, optimism, philosophy, religion. So this bring in happiness with respect to the ninth house things, the fortune. It will bring in abundance. Jupiter return coming into the 10th house of the horoscope. When you have Jupiter return coming into the 10th house of the horoscope, 10th house is all about your work and career. So this will bring in new opportunities, new responsibilities at workplace. You might get promoted. You might have a role change. You might have to handle the different responsibilities which will make you happy and which will bring in the happiness and abundance and all those Jupiterian vibes to the 10th house area. That is your work area. 11th house. 11th house Jupiter return makes you feel good about the earning. You have Jupiter into the 11th house and you have Jupiter return. It will make you happy and grateful about your earnings. You will have new social contacts. You will be connected to new social group, and that social group might be spiritual group. Okay, and you will love that. That will bring in happiness for you. Now you have Jupiter return into the 12th house of the horoscope. When you have Jupiter return into the 12th house, the happiness comes from the donations, charity, spirituality, meditation, sitting alone, being yourself, all those Jupiterian things. So yes, this was the effect of Jupiter return. In few of the houses I have mentioned about the Jupiter return coming for the Sagittarius, but it applies to all the signs. Okay, suppose you have Jupiter into the sign of Virgo And if Jupiter is coming into the sign of Virgo after 12 years of your birth, 24 years of your birth, 36, 48 years of your birth, you will have Jupiter return. Suppose you have Jupiter into the sign of Aquarius. Whenever Jupiter comes into the sign of Aquarius, whichever house you have Jupiter, this will apply to you as well. Okay. So yes, this was Jupiter return, as much as I could hold, grasp and share with you guys. If you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Go to my playlist, start exploring this fascinating world of Vedic astrology. Sending you tons of positive energy, sending you high vibes. See you in the next videos. Love and peace.